Hey, everybody, it is great to be with you today. It's Bill from BillOnTheRoad.com. Glad to be back on here. Took a couple of weeks off to go enjoy some warm weather down south, so hope you've been well. This is Rediscover America Live, where we try to chat with some interesting folks around the country and maybe give you some road trip ideas as well. And we've got a good one today. We're headed out to the great state of Colorado. And that is where we find Jen Miller, who works for Winter Park Resorts. And it's great to have you with us, Jen. How are you?
Thank you. I am well. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Winter Park, Colorado.
All right. Yeah, I have not been back to Colorado since I'm trying to think when it's been a couple of years since I've been back to Colorado. But wow, what a beautiful state! Obviously, so much to see and do. And speaking of Winter Park Resorts, I know that, and I believe this is fairly recent. USA Today named you all the best ski resort in America. That's a cool honor to have.
Yes, it was actually the readers of USA Today. It was a poll, and we were named the top ski resort in North America, so including the Canadian resorts, by the readers of USA Today. We were very honored to be recognized for that 2 years in a row.
That's wonderful. And I just full disclosure, I've never been to Winter Park, Colorado. I've been to the resort, so I've learned, like a lot of people, through photos on Instagram and hearing. I will say that I talked to a couple of people earlier today, told them that I was going to be speaking with you, and they have been to the resort and to the area and just raved and just said that they just had a wonderful time and they were so excited that we're going to be doing this. So cool. So I'm glad you're
Yeah.
with us. We mentioned the fact that number one ski resort, according to USA Today, wanted to make sure we mentioned that. And we just had a big snowstorm here in the Midwest, which is a disaster here. We don't want it. Where you are having all of the snow, that's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
We like the snow. We want to have a whole lot of snow. We have more than 200 inches of snow so far this season, and we're expecting more. March can sometimes be our snowiest month, so we still have several weeks left of winter and winter adventure.
So, for folks who have never been either to Colorado or haven't been to your neck of the woods or to the resort, sort of what sets you apart from maybe some of the other places where people can go and ski, and what can folks look forward to when they get there?
Well, Winter Park is the oldest continuously running ski resort in Colorado. So we are in our 81st season. We are tucked away about 70 miles from Denver. So we're the closest major ski resort to an urban area. And we have 3,000 acres of skiable terrain. Where our base area is about 9,000 feet, and our top elevation, where our panoramic um, lift reaches, is about 12,000 feet. And the panoramic lift certainly lives up to its name. It's beautiful. Up at the top, you can see the Continental Divide, and um, you can see miles of mountain vistas. And Winter Park is a resort for everyone. There's lots of activities outside of skiing and snowboarding. So really a truly authentic Colorado experience.
And I mentioned to you before we started this that I'm not a skier. In fact, I don't think I've ever tried to ski. I've done water skis, but haven't skied in the snow. But I will tell you, after looking through your website, there was one activity that I would be all for. and I could just see, putting the GoPro camera on and going to town. And it's the inner tubes that looked like so much
Yes.
fun, taking inner tubes down slopes. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yes, tubing, as we call it, is a great activity. Anyone can do it. You literally sit in an inner tube and throw yourself down the mountain. But the hills are designed specifically for tubing. So there's a conveyor belt that takes you back up to the top, so you don't have to hoof it all the way back up to the top with your inner tube. So you can get a lot of up and down and thrills, winter thrills, and in a relatively short amount of time. It's a great activity for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned earlier, and hopefully you weren't offended by the fact that I'm not usually a big fan of the snow, but we're looking at this photograph, and I think this is the case all across the board. If you have this beautiful scenery here, I think you're inclined to like the snow a little more because look at that's just breathtaking. It's just beautiful, beautiful views.
It is. That is Perry's Peak, and it sits a little more than 13,000 feet, and that's on the Continental Divide, and you can see that from a lot of different vantage points at the resort. So yeah, it's definitely, it's a pretty iconic image associated with Winter Park because of that particular peak, Perry's Peak.
Now, for folks who like me that we don't ski or we haven't skied, do you offer lessons for folks? So if they wanted to come out for the first time and jump on the bandwagon, and is it for all ages? Is it just? I mean, I'm not a very tall
Yes.
person. I'm 5'7". I guess I could fit in with the kids doing their lessons. but I mean, is it for
Yes.
everybody or just kids or how's that work?
It is for everyone. We have a chairlift called the Galloping Goose, and it's in the base area at on the Mary Jane side of our mountain, and it's free.
Hmm.
So if you want to come and just try it out, you can rent some skis at the base there as well, and hop on over and get on the Galloping Goose lift, and it's a pretty gentle slope. So anyone with the desire to give it a shot can do that. And otherwise, we offer lessons for all abilities. Skiing and snowboarding are those kind of sports where I think you're constantly learning, even those who are advanced. There's always something new to learn and explore. So, yeah, and you're never too old.
Good. Yeah, I like to hear. Always like to hear that. Always up for an adventure. I'm going to show this photo here. This is a nice, pretty scene. This is the resort itself. So, tell me a little bit about, how long. I think you mentioned this. Forgive me. I may have not been paying attention like I should have been a real professional here. But how long have you all been open? Because I know some folks who have been there, and it seems like they told me it'd been quite a while. So, how long have you guys been around?
Well, we are celebrating our 81st season,
Yeah.
but we opened for the winter season on December 3rd this year, which was a little later than normal. We usually open mid-November, and then we usually run through mid to late April um, as conditions allow. So if we have, enough snow and um, and it's serviced by our chairlifts, then we allow people to ski.
Yeah, but you're not just a winter resort. Forgive the name there, but you are open all year round for other types of weather. So obviously you may not like this out there, but I see that March is now on. We're into March and we're kind of making a turn for a lot of the country, and so we'll be talking soon about even summertime travel. So what can folks do when there's not snow falling from the sky?
Absolutely. I mean, spring, March is still a pretty prime month for skiing, but for summer months, uh, late June, July, August, even into September, we have a pretty well-known and very popular bike park. It's called Trestle Bike Park, and it's a series of purpose-built trails on our mountain where, for the adventure seekers, you can take your bike up on chairlift on our gondola and then ride down on our trails. And then there's also hiking trails. So you can take the gondola up to the top to get those amazing views. And we have some great hiking trails up there, all accessible through the gondola. We also have an alpine slide that runs down the front side of our mountain, and that is tons of fun. We have, and also with the hikes, we have guided hikes. So if you can go up on your own, or you can hire a guide, and they will sort of show you around and give you the history of the area. There's fishing. We are about 30 miles south of Rocky Mountain National Park. So we're a great home base for people who want to come and explore the national park. And, we're pretty close to the Colorado River headwaters. We have the Fraser River that runs through our valley. So there's tons of things to do.
Yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned a home base because that's important. We talk a lot about road trips here, and a lot of times people are looking for a place where they can, kind of get settled but also venture out and explore other places as well. So I think that's a good deal. So for folks who are interested and they're looking to add some stuff for their road trips, maybe this coming spring, summer, even looking ahead to next winter, what do you suggest people do to kind of get a jump on things going into the new travel season?
Yes. Well, I would say a good place to start is our website.
Sure.
As summer activities start to open up, it's really our summer season starts in mid to late June. You can certainly come in May and June, but it's a little sleepy at that time, and the ground can still be pretty wet from all the snow melt. So, as you're planning a summer getaway, it's often best to wait a little bit further into the summer when the ground is a little more solid. And like I said, go to our website and look for things there. The Colorado Tourism Office website is another good place to look to understand, what to expect. And yeah, there's lots of scenic byways and things like that around here too.
That's all. Real quick, just about Colorado. The last time I drove there, I remember we went, and people in Kansas aren't going to be happy as I say this, but Kansas is the sunflower state, and so I drove all the way through Kansas, and I didn't see a damn sunflower anywhere. When I saw a sunflower, Jen, when I crossed over into Colorado, right there, right past the big "Welcome to Colorado." There you go, sunflowers all over the place. So you got some good scenery at least.
Yes, we do. We have the Eastern Plains. So sometimes it can be even hard to tell when you've left Kansas and entered Colorado until you get a little further west. But yeah, there's definitely lots of great scenery.
Yeah, and if you're watching in Kansas, don't send me any hate mail. I like Kansas too. I just meant to share that story with Jen. All right, Jen Miller from Winter Park. It was great visiting with you. And if folks want some more information, obviously they can check out the website. And hopefully you'll see some of our road trippers pretty soon out there. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, there she goes. That's Jen Miller from Winter Park. I'm Bill Cleveland from BillOnTheRoad.com. Hope you'll join us again next time. Have a good rest of your day.